those of you who've been rocking a while, I'm about to go into some mommy trauma, some mama trauma. So if it gets redundant, I apologize. But it's just wild how much I hated my mother, and nobody ever tried to correct me, but they didn't know better. Because I have to believe that there are parents out there like this, but I have to believe that as a parent, you try to transfer as much of you and knowledge and awareness and ability to navigate this world into your child as possible. I hope that's you. I hope you're not one of the ones that withhold information unless you live up to my expectations. So you sit there and you watch your kids stumble and fall, and then they succeed in spite of you, or they fail because of you. And you think it's not because of me, but it is, because you got the tool to help them. But you won't, because they're not living up to your expectations. I just stepped on some toes, and that was tip jar worthy. What's good, y'all? LoneeAppleton. I am a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, posting videos with your community so that we can grow, as well as supporting the community by putting a tip in the tip jar, shopping the merch, and picking up your copy of What's the Best That Can Happen at LoneeTaylorArt.com. So yeah, I don't know what I was talking about, but back to goddamn Tria. Yes, you live rent-free in my head, but only because this is relevant to this story. But I can admit that it hurt to move into a community amongst my peers. And the very first day I walk into that school, the teacher buddies me with you and Erica. We're at the science fair, and you're like, you want to go, look at the class pet? And me, I'm not really down. I disobey, but I'm a good kid. I only disobeyed because my parents wouldn't let me do anything. So in order to do anything, I had to disobey. I want to go outside and play, and you say I can't go out and play, so I sneak out and go out and play. Now I'm disobeying. Just let me go fucking play. We set our kids up for the trap, but this ain't that message. But that was tip jar worthy. But I don't understand. My first day of school, you asked me if I want to go see the reptile, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you because I want to be cool. I'm like the cool kids. I don't know who the cool kids are, but they want to hang out with me, sure. You take me back to go look at the class pet. You say it's over there in the corner, and I go over there in the corner, and I'm looking at the pet, and I turn around, and you say, now we're about to kick your ass. You didn't kick my ass, but you put that fear in me my very first day. Yeah, my mommy trauma. I forgot. That relationship was just crazy, and it's even more crazy that no one ever set me down to try to correct it. No one told us to go to fucking therapy. No one paid for our therapy. All the money that was floating around in the family, could nobody pull together enough for Delilah and her children to go to a therapy session. All the money y'all spent on drug rehabs, all the money y'all spent on drugs, all the money y'all spent on housing her, all the money you spent on putting her over there so you didn't have to deal with her, why didn't you pay for no goddamn therapy? What's good, y'all? I'm LoneeAppleton. I'm a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, posting videos with your community so we can grow, as well as supporting the community by putting a tip in the tip jar, shopping our merch, and picking up your copy of What's the Best That Can Happen at LoneeTaylorArt.com. That whole me and my mom thing, that shit's crazy. And it's crazy. Just ask this question, how someone can limit their potential. And I said, because your mama ain't your daddy ain't you ain't gonna be shit. Like, we speak that over each other. We speak failure over each other. We accept failure for the simple fact that the generation before us failed. We somehow switch from being the first generation to do something to being the next generation not to do shit. That's how we accept it into our lives, is we look at the generation before us. And because we're automatically by default supposed to respect them and hold them at a high esteem, we don't even actually look at them and say, dang, she got 6 baby daddies. She ain't married. Fucking and sucking to pay the bills. I don't think I want her life. But too many of us repeat the same thing, but in our version. because no one before us had enough awareness or enough care. Like, dude, my aunt raised all of us. When all she could have did, if she had the awareness, they didn't. That wasn't today's world. But if we stop fighting progress, do you know how many light years ahead we could be? If we just stop fighting progress. Yes, they did not have the awareness then, but we have it now. So what is the excuse for anyone who is not releasing any old ideals? All of them, release them. They are not serving you. They are keeping you stuck, and they are keeping your family, if you have one, broken. Just because you are still in the same home does not mean you're not broken. If you are refusing to move in the progression of your family, you are breaking your family. That discourse is you. That impediment is you. I don't care if I didn't say the word right. You know what the hell I meant. You are stopping the progress of your home. If your spouse is coming to you and say, hey, let's go this way, and you're like, no, I'm going to continue going this way, and they're saying we're going to go this way, you are pulling your family apart to stop progress. Just want you to sit on it, chew on it, sip on it, in your LoneeTaylorArt.com sister support Tumblr. Available right now. Go get you one. I'm done with my mommy trauma. I'm just gonna say that it's really, really crazy that my mother and I were allowed to have the relationship that we had, and no one offered any intervention. Everybody just tried to manage it at a hands-off management space. They wasn't in it. They wasn't picking me up on, and being a part of my life. They weren't trying to. They ended up raising me because it was that or foster system. And I guess they had too much pride for me to end up in the foster care system. They cared about me that enough that they'd step in to keep me out the foster care system. But they didn't care enough to, pick me up on the weekends and show me a better life and, give me an opportunity to succeed. Man, I promise we need 24-hour cameras on us, because I can't even recreate the stuff that happens off camera. I don't want y'all to hear me always fussing at my dang kids, but the fussing be funniest because they ain't got no respect. And Dre's like, they ain't got no damn respect. I was like, because we ain't taught them how to respect. Like, we got good kids, but we ain't taught them nothing. And Dre's finally open to the space where he's like, he has to explain things to a kid, because he's like, why do I got to tell him that's common sense? Who's common? Who's common? You're common? And if this is something we're teaching our 5-year-old, do you remember every lesson that was taught you at 5 years old? I know you have memories from 5 years old, but do you remember every lesson that was taught to you? I surely doubt you remember every lesson. So maybe someone taught you respect. Maybe. I know you think you know how to respect just because you know how to respect, but maybe somebody taught you to respect. Which means somebody's out there that was never taught respect. And what if you couple with that person? How do you navigate that? I don't know. Guess we'll find out on the next episode of My Life is a Classroom, Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. noon on TikTok Live. What's good, y'all? I'm LoneeAppleton. I'm a healthy family advocate. If that's your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, posting videos with your community so that we can grow, as well as supporting the community by putting a tip in the tip jar, shopping the merch, and picking up your copy of What's the Best That Could Happen at LoneeTaylorArt.com. But yeah, back to Park Hill. It hurt my little feelings that these girls would target me for the greater part of my life at that point, from 3rd grade to 8th grade.